working really hard on place value and grouping tens to make 100. Okay, if you are not familiar with base 10, you should watch my previous video about explaining base 10 and how we use it to represent numbers with a model. Now up at the top, it's got the example, 10 tens make 100. Okay, so when we get to 10 tens, we box it in and trade up. Okay, because this is what represents 100 in base 10. So over here, I have my 10 tens here. I box them in, trade up. 10 more tens, box them in, trade up. So now I have 100, 200. So 20 tens equals 200 ones. Now down at the bottom, it says circle groups of 10 to make hundreds. Write the number 3 ways. Okay, so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know 10 tens trades up for 100. Okay, and I do that all the way across. My 10 tens trade up for 100. Okay, and this is the part that gets a little confusing for everybody. It's wanting to know how many tens total in the whole problem. How many tens are there? Look, there's 10 tens in each group of a 100. I know there's 10 tens here, 10 tens here, 10 tens here, and 10 tens here, which gives me a total of 40 sticks of 10. Then it wants to know how many hundreds did I make. Well, with all 40 tens, I made 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hundreds. Okay, and then down here it wants the total number. How many blocks are there? There are 400 individual tiny little blocks. Okay, the bottom is the same way. I trade up all of my groups of 10 for hundreds. And I'm doing this quickly just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. But they need to be counting the groups of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 before they trade up, because right now these are already split for them. They're organized into groups of 10, but as we go on, they're not going to be organized that way. It's going to be more than 10 tens altogether, and they're going to have to differentiate and box those tens up. Okay, so how many tens do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 10 tens. So I know I have 70 tens. I made 700s, and that means there are 700 individual little boxes in there, individual little cubes. Okay, this was another version of what we've been doing. A science class is learning about rocks. Tim brings 30 plastic cups full of rocks to class. There are 10 rocks in each cup. How many rocks does Tim bring? So if there are 10 rocks in each cup, I can represent that by using a 10. That's how I represent a 10 in base 10. Okay, so each 10 represents 1 cup of rocks. There are 30 cups of rocks. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 cups of rocks. Now I need to break those or combine those into hundreds to make it easier to count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. So I now have 1, 2, 300. So I know that he brought 300 rocks to class. Okay, Carrie puts rocks into plastic cups. Each cup has 10 rocks. Carrie makes 40 cups. How many rocks does she use? Okay, so this time I have 40 40. So now I have 40 cups with 10 rocks in each cup. So I've explained to them that I could go through and count by tens all the way. But what's going to happen is I'm going to get mixed up somewhere along the line and I'm going to miscount. So if I can condense some tens into hundreds, that'll help me make sure I get the right answer. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Trade up for 100. So now I know I have 1, 2, 3, 400 rocks. Carrie brings 400 rocks to class.